Hello and welcome to my first Merry Christmas Blu-ray update video. It's kind of the December 2018 Blu-ray update video, but it'll be the first in a three-part installment filled series. My brain isn't working properly tonight. Of Christmassy themed Blu-rays. I mean, this is basically stuff I say that I've bought myself for Christmas. Really, it's just the shit I buy myself anyway. But it's Christmas anyway. So there will be this video, which is just the stuff I bought myself. You can also check out my mail day, which I opened 2 Christmas gifts from 2 of my YouTube friends, CP and Graham, from Willie Screedia and Man v Film, respectively. And then the second part of this Blu-ray update will be the Blu-rays I got for Christmas from my family. And then the third part will be a bunch of anime titles I bought myself for Christmas from the Anime Online, all the anime 12 Days of Christmas sale. So yeah, first of all, there are 3 regular new releases to show you, and then there are 4 really fucking cool Korean releases to show you that I'm so excited and happy about. So first of all, the most bog standard of them all, we have the new Mission Impossible film, Mission Impossible Fallout. I really wanted to get the Sainsbury's release because it had a better cover. It had Ethan Hunt / Tom Cruise doing the Halo jump. Really cool cover, but they just didn't have it. They had it in DVD. They're like, oh, we got the DVD version. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not interested in your disgusting standard definition. Get out of my face. I didn't say that. But so I just bought the regular version, which is still pretty nice. And they've loaded this thing with extras. I've been watching most of the documentaries on here, and you know, you really see the lengths that Tom Cruise went to, and it kind of gets over-explained to a point where it's like, yeah, we know Tom Cruise does his own stunts, but you see the shit in this documentary. It's unbelievable. Like those helicopter shots at the end of the film, like he's literally flying through these gorges. And it's just like unbelievable. He truly is the Buster Keaton of our times, picking up where kind of Jackie Chan was starting to leave off with. Just one of the best action stars ever. And I think this is one of the best action films ever made. Just a phenomenal film from start to finish. There are scenes in certain action films where it's like, wow, that film was great. Especially that one scene, that one, like the standout set piece moment of the movie. This has about 5 or 6 of them in the same damn film. The bathroom fight scene, the Halo jump scene, the helicopter chase sequence, the fight on the cliff at the end, the chase through Paris in the middle, But it also has great scenes that aren't like action scenes. There's the scene in the hospital where they convince the guy that, that this nuclear bomb has been dropped, an amazing kind of pull the rug out from underneath the villain sequence. And then we have Solomon returning as a villain from the last film. This is just, it's next level. It really is. I truly think this is one of the best action films ever made. Just amazing from start to finish. I've seen it a couple of times now, and I just love the film. Next up, we have a newish, I think, Arrow video release. Was it even? Yeah, it came out this year. I'm not sure when. I saw it in HMV and I thought, oh, I wouldn't mind grabbing that. I think I have it somewhere else, but this is a brand new restoration from a 4K scan of the original negative by Arrow Films, approved by director Terry Gilliam. It is 12 Monkeys. I love this film. Really, really great time travel science fiction story. I recently watched and reviewed the 1962 film La Jetée, the Pier, from Chris Marker, which is a film that I'm assuming kind of loosely inspired this movie. Bruce Willis goes back in time, and actually it's been so many years since I've seen this. A lot of the plot details are fairly hazy in my mind, so I'm actually really looking forward to coming back to this at some point. I'm assuming the artwork on the inside is the same. There's probably reversible artwork and stuff, but this, it has pretty much all. There were some really good extras on the regular release of this anyway. Surely they must have, yes. The Hamster Factor and Other Tales of 12 Monkeys, a feature-length making-of documentary, which is a really, really good making-of documentary. One of the first major making-of pieces I saw probably way back when I got this on DVD when I was a young teenager, I think. So yeah, and the 12 Monkeys archives, they probably loaded up with little bits and pieces. But regardless, the film is what's important. I love that cover. and I love the film, so I'm looking forward to getting back to that at some point. And then finally, for the just again bog standard shit you've already seen elsewhere for the most part. Although this one is a film I actually would really urge you to go out and buy, actually, and watch and see for yourself. It is Leave No Trace. I believe the director's name is Deborah Granick. This is one of my favorite films of the year. You'll see this in my top 20 films of the year list, no doubt, when I get to it at the end of the year. This is a very, very quiet but powerful drama about a father and his daughter living out in the wilderness in a state park. He's a veteran and going through PTSD, and has decided that the best life for him and his daughter is to kind of live off the land, basically. And one day they get found and everything changes, and so it's this constant ever-changing story for these two characters. When I first saw it, I thought the whole movie was going to be them out in the wilderness, and then when they get kind of caught, I thought the whole movie was going to be about them kind of reacclimatizing to kind of normal society. Then it changes again. So it takes you on a really interesting, winding journey with two incredible performances from Thomasin McKenzie and Ben Foster, who's great in almost everything you see him in. He's such a good actor, and he really just brings such a power to the film in a quiet way. And I've already said quiet but powerful, but that's the best way I can describe it. And I had to pick this film up on Blu-ray. I don't think it has any extras, unfortunately, but it's one that I just had to grab straight away because I love this film, and I'll probably watch it again before the year is out. And then we have the 4 Korean titles, which I'm really psyched about. So 3 of them are from Nova Media, who ran a winter sale, which may even still be on. I'm not too sure about that, actually. You can go check out their website. And there was a lot of stuff on there I wanted to get. I had to really hold myself back because the Nova Media stuff, great packaging, you know, really present their kind of their packaging well. And so, you know, if you like collector's packaging, they're one of the sites you can go to. And yet the shipping maybe isn't the cheapest in the world, and their titles aren't the cheapest in the world. But with this winter sale, they had some really good prices. And so I jumped on a few things that I've been thinking about getting in the past. And then also the extra 4th Blu-ray here is from eBay, also from Korea. And I don't know who the guy is, but I want to thank the guy. It was on Daisuke's Facebook comments talking. We were talking about the films of Naoko Ogigami, and I was saying how much I loved her films, wanted to get them on Blu-ray, but they're so damn expensive, like £45 a title from Japan. And he said, well, you can get it for like £14. And I'm like, show me. And he sent a link, and there it was. So this is a Korean release of one of Naoko Ogigami's films, and it is her 2007 film, Megane, Glasses. And I've recently talked about this, well, not recently, a few months ago I talked about this in films I'd like to see in the Criterion Collection. I love this film. This is a really, really, I could almost use the same description, quiet but powerful, but I'd say it's quiet and soothing. You know, it's kind of soul food. You know, this is a film about people who are not really doing much. You know, this is primarily people hanging out on a beach, you know, just trying to relax a bit from the, you know, the day-to-day struggles of life. It's about this woman who comes in from probably a very stressful city life to an island resort which is inhabited by not many people at all. And there's only a few characters in the movie, and we just follow them and her as she's kind of a fish out of water in this very unique and kind of almost zen-like atmosphere, where the people there are very much about kind of this, they call it twilighting, you know, where we're just being, you know, we're just kind of breathing, you know, and she doesn't like that at first, but she grows to understand it, and it's just such a beautiful film. I love it, and to have one of, I would say now, one of my favorite directors' films on Blu-ray is a great thrill for me. You can see the kind of beach setting there with some of the main characters, and this, I checked that the film looks great. I kind of chuckled how the inside has like bits and pieces about the cast and the film, and so it says about movie in English, and then it's all Korean. Like, why put the header in English? You know, it makes no sense. But I love the minimalist design of the slipcover. The only issue for me is that there are a boatload of special features. Like, almost 2 hours worth of behind the scenes material, and none of it is subtitled in English, which is to be expected. It's probably an expense they're never going to go to, but at least the main feature is subtitled in English, and just a great film. And you will hear me talking about this film a little bit more next year. That's all I'm going to say. And maybe with help from someone else as well. Now, finally, on to the Nova Media titles. The first one, which is the only American English-speaking movie of the bunch, is from one of my favorite directors. And we're going to avoid any controversy here. We're going to nip that in the bud right here and now. But this is from one of my favorite directors, Rian Johnson, and it is The Brothers Bloom. This is his second film after his first debut feature, which was Brick. And I haven't seen this one. So I'm a huge fan of him from his work in films to TV in the Breaking Bad world, and this is one I've never got to. And this is kind of the one film the one film in his filmography and career which didn't do too well financially. So it kind of, I remember hearing him on Kevin Smith's podcast, Smoothie Makers. It's like a 2, 3, maybe even 4 hour discussion with Rian Johnson about how he got his first film made, Brick. It's an incredible story about how his whole family basically bankrolled this movie for him and made his dream come true. And now look where he's come. So it's an incredible story, and Rian is such a nice guy. And that kind of 3, 4 hour podcast really endeared me to him. And he talks a bit about this film and how, you know, he really loved making it, but it never got its day, you know. So I really want to see it. I don't know too much about the story. He described it in that podcast, but I listened to it many years ago. So it stars Adrian Brody, Rachel Weisz, Mark Ruffalo, and Rinko Kikuchi. And yeah, just a really nice kind of, you know, slipbox release. You know, they really go the extra mile, Nova Media. And like Plain Archive is another, you know, Kimchi DVD as well. I'm not sure exactly which companies are behind the production of all of these. Maybe someone makes them, another site sell them. But, you know, you get like the matte finish and kind of like the title is embossed, even to like the on the top spine, on the side spine. And this is limited edition number 246 of 1,000 copies. And I'm not surprised it hasn't sold out or anything. And inside we get the film, obviously, in kind of a Criterion style case with a nice booklet, all in Korean, unfortunately. And also inside we have this package of kind of postcards. They have like loads of different foreign posters from the film. So lots of different variants and things like that. So just nice little extra touch for this release. And I look forward to watching the film first and foremost, of course. And kind of brushing up on the last bits of Rian Johnson's filmography that I haven't seen yet. Brick is one I really need to get back to, I think. Now, we have 2 more titles to go. And this one I just went with because it was really cheap. And the cover is just incredible, I think, and it is The Hand of Death. What really drew me to this film was the fact that it is a John Woo movie starring Jackie Chan. You know, that just seems like an amazing match made in heaven. I'm sure it's not going to be anywhere near the level of awesome that I'm imagining in my head, but I love the artwork. I really, really do. And the embossing is just absolutely gorgeous on this. You probably won't be able to pick it up on camera at all, especially not with this bad lighting, but really, really nice release. And inside we have the case, which houses the film, of course. And similarly, we have some postcards and things like that on the inside. So, really, really cool stuff. I will definitely be checking this out and probably doing some sort of video on it as well. Like, even on the back cover here, we have, I don't know what these things are. They're all these different symbols. There's like loads of them here. They're all embossed. Every single individual thing is embossed here. So just, I love the care and detail they put into the packaging of these releases. Now, I should say that this is not a Blu-ray. Even though it says Blu-ray disc, even though it's pressed on a Blu-ray disc. From what I understand, this is an upscaled release. Why does this happen? You know, I just wanted to see the film itself. So, you know, the gorgeous packaging and the cheap price were kind of what swayed my decision. But, you know, It's a shame. Some of these Hong Kong movies, they really don't get the kind of the proper treatment from Fortune Star. But and the same can be said for this last piece, which I am so excited about, whether it's upscaled or not. I wanted to get this for a number of years now, and I never wanted to pay that much money for essentially upscales, but this was at a decent price, so I finally decided to pull the trigger on a Chinese ghost story trilogy. Oh my god, I am so happy to have this in my hand right now. I've only seen the first one, which I reviewed a couple of years ago. I'll leave a link to that at the end of this video and in the description. Go check it out, because I love talking about that film, and I love that film in general. I think it is one of the most bonkers batshit movies I've ever seen in the best possible way. Such a visual feast and a visual delight. It's funny, it's spooky, and it's full of amazing action, amazing special effects, just like a massive amalgam of all these things that maybe don't even fit together when you mash them all into one, but regardless, it makes one hell of an entertaining film. This isn't a limited edition, but The Hand of Death is number 288 of 777, so that's interesting. But yeah, this one isn't limited. There were a number of versions of this that were super limited, and so on. But this has the 3 films in the trilogy. I haven't seen 2 or 3, and I'm not really in a big rush either. But to own a Chinese ghost story is a big deal to me, and I am absolutely sure that now that I've finally put the money down into this to buy this set, Arrow or Eureka are going to announce, hey, we're releasing a Chinese ghost story, and we're going to do a 4K restoration, and it's going to make the purchasing of this absolutely useless. But I'm happy to make that sacrifice if that is indeed what turns out to be the case. Because a number of times I've waited and waited and waited for a certain film to get kind of the re-release treatment. Never happened, so I get the regular release, and then they announce the restoration. So, yeah. But this has... which order have we got these in now? We have a Chinese Ghost Story and Chinese Ghost Story 2. They don't have the English title on the front or the spine, which is kind of confusing. And then we have the third one. I don't believe we really follow up on too many of the other characters. I think that, what is her name? It should say on the back here. Nope, it doesn't appear to. There is the main actress in the first one, I believe, carries over to all 3 films. At least it seems that way from the front covers. But I don't know too much about the sequels, nor do I know that much about the production of the first one. I just know that I love the first one so much, and I did actually put the disc in, and I had a quick flick through, and actually I have to say it doesn't look too bad. I'm really happy, because the first time I watched this, the only time I watched this, Chinese Ghost Story, was on a downloaded copy from YouTube. It's in the book, 1,001 Movies You Must See Before You Die. I wanted to review it, and so I downloaded it from YouTube and found my own subtitles, and it was abysmal. Like, the frame rate was all just fucked up, and you know, the subtitles were out of time. They weren't even properly translated, so just to get a better experience on the film, a stable frame rate, you know, fairly decent, halfway decent English subtitles is fantastic. So happy to finally have this film in my collection and to be able to watch it properly. And I will no doubt do some kind of video on it, revisiting it, and also the 2 sequels. So there we go. That's been the first part, Jesus Christ, of my Merry Christmas Blu-ray update video for 2018. I'll see you in the next part, where I talk about the few Blu-rays that I got from, or I'm going to get from my family. I know what they are, you know. You're very specific. I would like this. Okay, we will get you that. So I know what I'm getting for Christmas. But, yeah, oh, do I have... I don't. Okay. I actually recently bought a book as well, which is film-related, which I wanted to show in a video. I'll leave it till next year. It's a really, really cool movie book. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you all get some cool Blu-rays for Christmas, if that's your kind of thing. And otherwise, happy spending, happy holidays, and I'll see you in the next one.
It's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans and calling into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you, 'cause